chicka-boom, chicka-boom, chicka-boom. Hello, 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 hello. We're a little late, but we're never, ever leaving y'all hanging. Welcome to a brand new episode of Black, White, and Red All Over. I'm Victor Dandridge, the hardest working man in comics.
And I'm Ryan Seymour, the most bald person in the back of Comic Town. Yeah.
The
drapes, hardwood floor, match.
I mean, all right. I got nothing. I got nothing. That was such an insight. Oh my God. Yeah. Well, thank you for tuning in virtually for this one, Ryan. I appreciate you pushing things back because I had a thing that I had to do yesterday, and it kind of worked out because you have a little birthday celebration for a family member, which is super dope.
Yeah, Princess Tierna's, Neka Chandawise on Instagram and Twitter, her 16th birthday.
Hey!
They grow up so fast.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do. Hey, listen, guys, if you would do us a favor, give her a follow on Twitter or follow her on Instagram. Just put a follow on there for a birthday thing. Quick shout out because she's awesome, very talented, yo. Like I wish I had her talent now, let alone at her age. Like she's dope. So mad love.
She has the talent, but she lacks the confidence.
Well, let's help her
how to instill.
Let's come on, y'all. This is community effort. Let's show her some love and really show her how talented she truly is because she is. So I mean, obviously, this was a huge week. I went in to the shop thinking, I'm just gonna grab a couple of books.
No,
joke's on me. Like, what in the world? Like everybody,
everything laid out. Yeah, everything laid out was 6-8 foot tables of books. Just tons.
It was tremendous, and we still had books. Okay, so. The Magic Order Conundrum. Yeah. Is it actually next week or what?
I think it's next week.
Okay.
It's the physical copies are on our invoice. So I think it's next week.
Okay.
It's it's getting so confusing because we had like Jupiter's Legacy Requiem got pushed to this week.
Right.
Which
we talked about
got like a special week early. Yeah.
You know, it's all good. It's all good. So we will definitely be talking about that next week. So look for that one. I went a little crazy and I read 7 books this week.
Yeah, I got a pile because I didn't know where to stop. I just kept reading like, okay, I'm gonna hit one that sucks, and that'll be no.
There wasn't a lot of suck this weekend.
Yeah, there really wasn't. And like books I've been waiting to finally get the second issue for came out. We had books that the first issue I was waiting for finally came out.
Right?
Yeah. Just a great week.
All right, so in terms of honorable mentions, I got my honorable mentions here. So this is where I would go with that. Is any of these looking familiar to you?
That's actually really, really close.
Nice.
Hold up that stack again.
Okay, so I've got Book of Hugh, number 2. That made my honorable mentions. That was a tight one though.
Yeah.
It was a tight one.
Okay, that's actually really, really close to what I would have done.
Okay. I got Pop Star Assassin.
Yeah.
I've got Cross to Bear and Dark Blood. All of my honorable mentions.
Yeah, I've got Pop Star, I've got Cross to Bear, probably got DC versus Vampires.
Oh, nice.
And oddly enough, House of Slaughter. Like it was decent.
That's on your honorable mentions?
Yeah, did it make your top?
Dude, that was what I was battling against between that and House of Hugh. No joke.
Yeah, it's good.
Let's talk about that one. Let's just talk about it.
Yeah, Boom Studios, James Tynion IV, Brumble, De La Dera, Sheehan, Muerto. So it's like basically the same creative team as Something's Killing Children. The thing for me is maybe it's because I'm so attached to Erica Slaughter. And maybe because Something's Killing is consistently one of the best books every week, I wanted to like that wow factor. And it's a great story because we're learning about her brother in the house and his backstory. It was a plot twist
definitely is a plot twist
at the end. Yeah, at the end where I was like, oh, that's spicy.
Hearing the framework for how the houses work, that was nice. That was a nice little piece. And out of my mix here, like I saved this one for last. So I was really holding it up there really high. And I don't want to say like there's too many cooks in the kitchen, but it's not James by himself. And I think there is something about that. You know, Tate Brumball didn't do a bad job under any circumstance, but there's a difference between, you know, Tate and James without question. Art-wise, I thought Chris Sheehan did a good job, but it's not the same as Werther. Like Werther, there's something about the way that Werther does what Werther does just kills.
Yeah.
So I can agree with that.
It was really good.
Yeah.
But like it wasn't
something killing children. Yeah. So from the world of a nice little offshoot, definitely grab it. Especially if you're having a hard time picking up issues of Something is Killing Children, grab this without question. All right, so then that bumps my search for Hugh up, which I'm okay with because that was it was really messing with me, man. Pop Star Assassin.
Yes. From All Hail Behemoth Comics.
Yeah. I didn't know. Like I just grabbed it because I was like, oh, this is a funky cover. I kind of like it.
Yeah.
Let's just go into it.
Because when they say his name the first time, because I wasn't thinking that. I was thinking, okay, so it's a story about a Vegas Elvis impersonator.
Yes.
And he's hell-bent on vengeance because he's convinced his father was murdered.
Right.
And not just, but that doesn't, oh my God.
It doesn't give you anything. Like this is government, mob, conspiratorial, historic-ness, all just roped up in this funky bag. All right, so we've got Ed
all the
Laval,
characters. Oh, so good.
Marcelo Basile, Matt Cashel, and my friend, which is like I literally had to email her. I was like, "Did you edit this book?" Tara Cloud Clark, which was amazing. She did. She actually was like, "Thank you for noticing." I was like, "I don't know that many Tara Cloud Clarks," so definitely stood up. So here's, we have to say his name correctly. It's Elvis Presley because he's Asian.
Yeah.
And it's, look, Jeremy is upset, but it's so good. It's so good.
It's amazing. And when it clicks who he's talking about, like, oh. And, all of the characters are drawn to look like Hollywood icons.
Yes.
And yet half the fun is like, oh, like that's the dude from there. That's her from there.
It's so perfect. It's so perfect.
Yeah.
It's like it's a pop culture potpourri, which makes it even more fun that it's this like murder mystery, pseudo gone awry because I mean, Elvis ain't sweet.
Because even if we said what it was, no one's like, what?
You'd be like, no, that doesn't work. Read it, and you'll see it does work.
Yeah.
It works.
It's like
very,
a 70s exploitation movie, but done in the vein of like, Big Trouble in Little China, where it doesn't take itself seriously, which lets it just go crazy.
Absolutely. What else do you have?
The two that I had left were Cross the Bear and DC versus Vampires.
Give me the DC versus Vampires.
Okay, this one's written by James Tynion.
Okay, he's busy.
Matt Rosenberg, I think, also.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure. Get to the.
Is he double teaming with people on his way to Substack?
Maybe that's what I'm wondering.
Yeah.
The art is lush. Like it's. If I can do this.
Oh, that
it's got this really cool, like 30 Days a Night Ben Templesmith sort of vibe to it. Okay, so it's in the vein of like Deceased. Mm-hmm. It's an alternate timeline, alternate universe, and in this one, the thing that had been keeping the vampire community like in the shadows, that's gone. And so now they're like, okay, we're gonna create like human meat farms. We're gonna block the sun out, and they start going after the people they think will stop them. And it is not the order that I would have thought.
Okay,
but like it's really, really cool. It's definitely definitely something if you're looking for like an Elseworlds kind of thing.
Nice.
It fits the Halloween season. There's a plot twist that I did not see coming, and it actually made perfect sense once the character did his evil monologue. I'm like, oh wow. So yeah, no, really, really cool. And it's not Twilight vampires. These are just vicious predators that just can't be in the sunlight.
That makes me happy. That makes me happy. Seemingly vampire, but not. Dark Blood #4.
It's got the title.
Right? Latoya Morgan, Moises Hidalgo. Okay, so this one, so this is an interesting criticism. At this point, the more that they dance around what has actually happened, the least interested I'm becoming. So I really need, like, for issue 5, for them to really get into, this is where we are, boom, let's go. And I think the way this is set up, that's exactly what's going to happen. And it's kind of an interesting thing where there's a slow burn to it, which isn't bad, but you don't want to let it burn too long. And we're dangerously close to that space with this issue. We are seeing a lot of things that are happening in current time. For those that don't know, the story takes place in early or late 1940s, after World War II. And there's this event called the Variants that is kind of our centerpiece, where this guy, a black gentleman, gains some form of superpowers unexpectedly, very suddenly. And his first showcase of it, he kills a white man. So obviously in 1940s, black guy kills a white man. Not a good look. There's a lot of things that just go wrong with that. So I'm really interested in seeing where we go from here, to really kind of push it story-wise. So fingers crossed that this next issue really picks up that thread and jumps into the story of it super heavy, because I'm ready for it. Like, don't tease me no more. Give me the goods.
It's solid.
Yeah.
This was a tough one for me to put on the honorable mentions, because I really, really dug it. AfterShock Comics, Cross to Bear #1.
Yeah.
The serial killer connect. If you haven't picked, viewers, if you haven't picked up on yet, I'm like a sucker for serial killer stuff.
Not that he is a serial killer.
Oh,
that's proven. Yeah, not at all.
Hitchhikers. So like, it's this really cool mix, because there's like the serial killer bat thing going on,
right?
And then there's like the secret order of knights, which always is like, just give it to me.
This is magic.
Yeah, it's really, really cool. Made me Penny Dreadful, the series that's like on Showtime or whatever. It gave me that kind of vibe to it, because it's in that time period. Those British dudes, I don't trust them, but
I get it.
And again, I'm Irish Catholic, so
you have reason. You might have reason.
Yeah.
What I love is the hook on this one is called The Old World Meets the Old West. And I think there's something really magical about that concept of blending two cultures that couldn't be further apart, like even how we think about them. We're like, no, those are like decades, if not centuries apart from each other. Like, actually, they're really not. Like the Victorian age and the Old West, really kind of close if you really.
Yeah.
So I think that's really fun. Creative team, Marko Stojanovic is the writer. Artist, Sinisa Bonovic, I think might be how you say that one. And this is kind of cool. So this is like an international team. Let's see. I'm trying to see where Marco is from. I don't see exactly where, but he's doing work, as it says, on both sides of the Atlantic. So he might be based here in the U.S., but he's done work in Europe. Sinisa is a Belgrade-based illustrator, which I think is dope. So yeah, like this is really like an all-star team that's bringing a lot of culture to it. And I like the way that they've danced around with this story. They've brought some really cool characters to life almost immediately. I'm trying to think which character is my favorite. Low-key, it's kind of Edgar.
Yeah, no, I'm thinking that because he's trying to grow as a person. He realizes the damage that he's done to himself and others by his role in the organization.
Right.
And he's trying to grow a new life elsewhere.
Right.
So I'm like, I'm compelled to him, but like the other dude, like he's staunchly like, I'm doing God's work. Some people got to.
Sorry, not sorry.
Yeah.
You know, I've made choices. So did they.
Yeah.
I love it. I absolutely love it.
And this might be a great point in the show to be like, okay, whoever comments below first, we'll mail you a variant cover, an AfterShock variant cover. So whoever comments in the comment section below first, we'll get in touch with you and we will mail you a variant cover.
That's a freaking win. Wait, can I do this? Can I? Oh, y'all better race me. Y'all better race me. I swear, as soon as the show's over, I'm on here. Watch. All right. So in terms of the acrylics this week, I've got Search for Hugh.
Okay.
Inferno 2. Okay. And Once in Future. What do you got?
Oh, all right. I got We Don't Kill Spiders 2.
Ooh.
Swamp Dogs 1 and Human Remains 2. Oh my God. Yeah. Okay. It's a whole lot of different books this week.
Yeah. I'm all for it. Here, let me jump with this one. Search for Q. Steve Sway, Steve Orlando, Rubine. Family dynamics, right? You've got, again, two cultures that couldn't seemingly be more separated. You got the Hughes and the Margulies, and Jewish culture, Chinese culture, married in, but at some point, family dynamic is broken and they're at war with one another. Yeah. And this young man who was born in the US, who knows nothing of his family's past, is on this journey to try to sort out what's going on after a hit, basically, has been made on his parents, where his mom has been shot, and she seemingly is okay, but they're not sure about his dad. So he's trying to get involved with the family dynamic and make himself a part of the crew, so to speak. Okay. And I tell you what, if there's a movie of this, I'm there. I'm watching it, like, without question. It's smart, it's snappy, it's got good action into it, and the sort of like mobster intrigue is super on point. It's like amazing the way that they're doing it. So yeah, I like that book a lot.
Another AfterShock book, just killing it. Go figure.
Who knew? One of the greatest imprints in existence ever. Yeah.
This is tough. All right, I'm gonna go Human Remains number 2.
How did I not guess that you were gonna do that?
I had to know. So Vault Comics, Milligan, Cantrino, and Kelly World are the creators on it. It is the quiet place, except instead of noises, it's amplified emotions. And when those things happen, like someone's like super, super joyous, or they're a Browns fan on Sunday, it creates this situation where we don't know yet, aliens, creatures, experts, something shows up and just starts ripping humans apart. And in the issue, we're starting to get into various characters and their stories, because they're not related to each other, or at least not yet. And just like the different things, like there's a tent revival style preacher that's like, oh, this is obviously the end of days, uses that for his mojo. There's scientists that are trying to figure out what's going on. There's a dude who's afraid to go outside because he knows if he goes outside, the monsters will be there. And it's just like this really, it's gross when they show up, because it's just they tear stuff apart. But it's like this really cool, almost like the tale. Who was it? Because it was Max Brooks wrote. It was the sequel to How to Survive a Zombie Apocalypse. It kind of got made into a movie. What was the name of that movie?
World War Z.
Kind of like the book form of World War Z, where it's different people and their stories as they're going through it. Nice. And it's really, really cool. Vault Comics is doing a lot. They've got strip cover returnability, so stores can make sure they can get the copies that you're looking for. Highly recommend it. It's great horror. It's the season, and they got tentacles. It's a win-win.
How do you go wrong with that?
Can't go wrong with tentacles.
Okay, so I went a little bit more mainstream. Marvel Comics Inferno number 2. Yeah. It's Hickman, Casilli, Curiel. So I didn't read number 1, so I'm kind of going a little dark. I heard a lot of great things about it, but I think it also came out on a heavy week and I missed it. But I jumped in with this one, and it looks like, really interestingly, as much as Hickman has built between House and Powers of X, he's now tearing it apart. and really kind of setting things up where these factions of X-Men that we've understood them, particularly led by Professor X and Magneto, nothing is what it seemed. Like there is something ugly and hidden that they are, pushing for, some dark machinations that when this all is laid to bear, you might not want to be a mutant, let alone have any association with these guys. You find out that there's been one mutant in particular that they have refused to revive, and that is the mutant Destiny. And the idea is because she's a precog, and because she's a precog, the things that they know, she would know. And so the things that they're trying to do, she could say whether or not it's going to work, put anything in place that would, object or interrupt or anything like that. And so this is all about sort of like this political chess game to figure out what to do, because Mystique has brought her back. Destiny is back, and everybody's playing their hands. Everybody. And I mean, we're talking wild stuff. Like amongst the Quiet Council, there's a lot of things that are happening that, like I said, is going to put every alliance on Krakoa on its ear, and we'll see if it survives this series. I don't think that it will.
Yeah, very cool. No, that's awesome. Yeah, because you can't have her alive and still try to do that shady stuff.
Exactly.
And you can't not have her alive because people are going to wonder why
aren't you bringing her? Like, what's, especially considering that Mystique, Raven, like that's her wife, and so she's got like this huge connection to her. And you see, like, in the way that this plays out, there's some things that Charles and Eric and Moira have been doing where you're like, you guys are not the heroes that we always thought you were. Like, not even close. So
very intriguing.
Yeah.
Damn you, Hickman. Okay, I'm going to go from Black Caravan, which is Vertigo, like Scott Comics version of Vertigo. I got two of them this week, but the first one I'm going to lead off with is We Don't Kill Spiders #2. It's so delicious. Okay. It is Law and Order in like the Dark Ages, Viking territories with magic.
Dick Wolf, get your life together. Why is this not a series?
Right? Oh my gosh. All right. So in the first issue, we find out there's been a series of murders, occult related, and they bring in this independent investigator, I guess would be the best way to describe him. And it's his job to find out what really happened. But the town has already decided it's this witch that lives outside the town. It's all her, she doing all the killings. And so his job, like, go kill her. But he's like, that I first have to find out. And then he finds out how crazy stuff is. And in this issue, the crazy is elevated to the next level when we've got Lovecraftian god name being dropped. We've got some kind of spider thing
that's not okay. That's not okay.
Fuse demon burning acid. Yeah, it's great. It's like, it's amazing. It's dark. It's not horror, but it's like this really like metal kind of thing. Really, really cool. I enjoyed it quite a bit.
I cannot even understand why. Like, who would have guessed such a thing?
Yeah, right.
Oh my God. That's amazing. All right. So my last book for the week, Once in Future. I had jumped off the train, but I'm back on. This is issue 21. Kieran Gillen, Dan Mora, Tamara Bonvillain. Oh my God. Okay. So I don't know what's been going on. You miss a couple of issues, you jump back in, and stuff is crazy. We've got Greco-Roman stories happening now. There's a male Gorgon running around. A male Gorgon. That's a problem. Okay. Big old stank nasty problem. Like, Grams is still alive, which is all I care about. And like this, I mean, it's crazy. They're in Bath, which, if I'm not mistaken, that's where Mark Miller lives, right? Does he live in Bath now?
I don't know.
I want to say he does. So, Mark, look out. There's a male Gorgon running around. I just want you to know this. But then we still have the Arthurian piece attached to it. And apparently, in some way, shape, or form, now there are two Arthurs. And now that there are two Arthurs, and I don't even know how this happened. Like, I totally want to go back and find out. But there is a wait, what knight are you? Did you do Eliold of Camelot, and he's found Rose and Duncan, and obviously like they're Gawain and Percival, like as their positions. So he's there like, yo, you're supposed to come fight with us. Either you're with us or against us. What is it? And they're still trying to do their thing. So they're trying not to, decide yet. To which, Eliold is like, then you're against us? And they're like, no, we didn't say that. Like, there's just so much just crashing together. Yeah. It's freaking amazing. And so, I think Arthurian legend, Greco-Roman storytelling, there's some amazingness here. It's just a love letter to classic stories.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It's amazing.
And the way Gillen takes those, like the stories that we all know so well, it's like,
let me give you the cultural.
It's
amazing.
Amazing. Okay, so this one was actually a request by Josh Kramer.
Okay,
and he described it as what was it? Lesbians and the undead.
Go on.
Sure, you got 5 minutes of my time.
Yeah.
So from Black Caravan, Swamp Dog's number 1. And he's not wrong.
Okay.
There are Sophic characters and there's undead. Something is in the bayou near Baton Rouge.
Okay.
It's been there since before the Civil War.
Okay.
I almost said it's something that might spoil what it is. It's violent. It doesn't like being bothered.
It's the Hulk. That's what it is. Just say it. Okay.
And it's just like this real cool kind of horror vibe, and all the creative team: Brant, Presidius, Ball, Redmond, Wands, and Samlin. Whoever decided to have the house band playing "Children of the Grave" at this house party. I mean, show you my Black Sabbath poster hanging on the.
How do you really feel? Yeah,
I love Black Sabbath. So I'm hearing that in my head, and it's like the story of these two women who find each other almost by accident or by fate, and they kind of hit it off. But what they don't know is they're in the middle of this upcoming undead apocalypse.
Oh my god!
So it is 100% C movie, like not even B movie. We're talking like C or D.
I love it.
Like that 70s exploitation. Horror on a shoestring budget, like it's
super grindhouse.
It totally checks off all the boxes. I can't wait till this band gets stuck in the swamp. Like it's going to happen.
That's awesome.
It's just it's amazing. So much fun. They're not trying to reinvent the wheel or anything, so it's a little bit of formula going on. But when you like the formula, why change it?
Exactly.
Good stuff.
That's good stuff. My daughter just popped in. Hi. Hey. That's amazing. I love how, like, as we're talking about the undead, the doors slowly is opening. I'm like, and this is where I get eaten. Like, this is what happens.
It's just a matter of time.
Oh my god, this was a tremendous week. A lot of great books. Great things for you guys to read. Definitely in the comments, let us know what you picked up, what we should be reading, because we love to hear that. I mean, we can only read so much seemingly, but we do read a lot. But obviously, if you like this episode, click the thumbs up because we need that validation.
Yep.
We want it. And
every week we're doing this. Hit the subscribe button. Hit that bell.
That's right.
Let you know when we're in.
You already know. So
almost forgot. We want to send a shout out to the Metal Shark Bro team.
Yes, we do.
Yeah,
Ringo Award winners.
Yeah.
Freaking yes. Absolutely awesome. I couldn't be more proud. Kevin, Bob, you guys rock. Mad hard. You already know I love you guys. Listen to their podcast, Word Bros, on all like social media platforms and whatnot. They are fantastic, like wonderful creators, taking over the game. So huge shout out to them. That was absolutely epic. Loved it. Yeah, super dope. Super dope. Walter, definitely to you too, the artist for that series. Super dope. So high marks. High marks to all the Ringo winners. I don't know if you saw Gene Ha got a humanitarian award, which was just, I mean, hearts to that guy. He's so sweet. And then Joe Quesada got an award while he was there, which was awesome. So everybody's getting love. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
That's what the industry's all about, baby. For
Heart.
Feel it. Yeah. So thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll see you next week at the comic shop.
Tootles.
Bye.